Major story, speaking of transgenderism, speaking of these pulling on your heartstrings sort of social issues, major story out of Ukraine. Not the shelling of civilians in Kiev, not the fight of the Ukrainian people to stop Russian aggression. No. The story that Business Insider decided to focus on. How a transgender Ukrainian man escaped Russia's invasion. He, quote unquote, says, "I painted my nails violet and wore mom's shirt to look more girly." So that's how now the transgender Ukrainian man escaped the invasion. And my first thought reading that headline, you read it kind of quickly, you say, hold on, why is a man escaping the invasion? The way that it works in Ukraine right now is that women and girls are allowed to leave. Women and children are allowed to leave. But the men have to stay in Ukraine because the men are expected to fight for their country against Russian aggression. This is the right thing to do, and it happens to be the policy in Ukraine. So why is a man escaping the war? Why isn't he fight? Oh, right, because he's not a man. Because when they say transgender man, they mean a woman who is pretending to be a man. Either because she's confused and believes because of some fantasy that she is actually a man, or because she just really wants to be a man and she isn't one, but she wants to pretend. Either way, she's being allowed to leave because she's a man. Or because she's a woman, rather, and not actually a man. Now, she says she painted her nails violet and wore mom's shirt to look more girly. She doesn't need to do very much to look more girly. She's a girl. But what is so striking about this issue, and it just drives home everything we've said about the transgender craze, is we are told that transgender men are men. Transgender women are women. There's no distinction between a transgender man and a man, or a transgender woman and a woman. I don't know why we have that extra adjective there beforehand, because there's no difference whatsoever. They just gave Richard Levine, who is the Undersecretary of Health, he's a man who believes that he's a woman, is the Assistant Secretary of Health in America. Shows you the state of our country. He just won an award from some organization to name him one of the Women of the Year, because he's a woman. You go, girl, you get it, right? So this woman is a man until it's inconvenient to be a man. This woman is a man until she, pretending to be he, is asked to fight for her country, to do one of the duties of being a man. And then all of a sudden, let's paint my nails and go to a slumber party because I'm a girl. Let's go get some Chardonnay on the weekend. And she flees the country. This is a problem with the transgender movement more broadly. And really, it's a problem with our society at the broadest level. We all want the privileges that other people have. We never want the duties that other people have. We want to be able to do whatever we want, whenever we want to do it. That is our view of liberation. And transgenderism, at its core, is a radical liberation movement, just like all movements from the left are radical liberation movements. Not just liberation from governments, that's how they began, not just liberation from social convention, that's how it continued, but liberation from nature and biology itself. So it's this radical liberation movement, and we believe to be truly free, you need to be able to do whatever you want to do in our culture. But this liberation never involves taking on responsibilities, taking on duty. I think this is probably the biggest distinction between the leftist and liberal view of the world and the conservative view of the world. The liberal and leftist view of the world looks at the world primarily from a perspective of rights and entitlement. And on the more radical left end, it's entitlement to things, positive rights, my entitlement to enter into the women's bathroom if I'm really a man, my entitlement to some healthcare service, my entitlement to your money and your labor. And on the more modest side of it, it's my entitlement, my right from aggression, my right to life, liberty, and property, the negative rights, right? It's all just rights. But on the conservative side, we look and we say, no, I'm not born primarily with rights. I am born primarily with duty and obligations. I'm born into a family. I'm a little baby boy. I'm born into a family. I have obligations to my family and to my community and to my country. And if you view the world that way, then you're going to stay and fight for your country. But if you adopt crazy ideologies, radical leftist ideologies like transgenderism, you're never going to look at the world like that. And so it's no surprise that this transgender man, also known as a confused woman, is fleeing at the first sign of trouble. Not so fun to be a man when the bullets are flying, is it? Right now, head on over to Priceline.com. Since 1998, Priceline has been the best way for travelers to book the trip that they want at the price they can afford. Priceline saves consumers more than $1 billion every year, billion with a B, so that their customers never have to miss the moments that matter. With Priceline, you can save up to 60% on your favorite hotels. You can also get exclusive deals on rental cars and flights. When you save more, you can do more. Get more, wow, this view is incredible. More, another round of room service, please. More, booyah, I'm extending my vacation. Sorry, boss. Sorry, Ben. There are a few things that feel as good as knowing you saved money with the discounts Priceline offers. You get that feeling a lot because when you save more, you can enjoy more, you can do more. At Priceline, every trip is a big deal. Priceline knows that every trip is a big deal. So when you're ready to book the next one, check out Priceline.com for the easiest way to get more wow, more booyah, just to name a few things out of it. I'm glad you liked that clip. Now I need you to ring the bell, please. You'll get the notifications, you'll subscribe, and then also head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you get your audio podcasts. Subscribe to The Michael Knowles Show, Michael space Knowles space SHOW. Subscribe right now. You will get all of our latest episodes. We'll see you next time.